Hello, anybody who's out there and isn't doing anything at the moment. I was, that's me, I guess, and I can hear my fan making noise. Let's see. Let's see if this, hold on. Let's see if that's any better. Uh, no, it's so hot today. I have my fan and air conditioning on. Turn that off. Okay. Hey, I see Jane and I see Deanne. Would either of you be interested in joining me today? If so, I can send you, post a little invite to come in for fun and games. I was outside today and it's so hot. I think it's like 86 or 88 here, which is too warm for me. But I felt like doing something. And I'm not really good for, I just sent the link in StreamYard. Oh, I don't guess, oh, you can't see that probably, can you? Or can you? I don't know. Can you see the link I just posted above? Maybe I have to post it in YouTube. Hold on just a sec. Let me open that up again. Let me find it. Okay. Let me try here. Okay. Got it? Oh, Jane has it. Okay. Jane and Deanne, if you'd like to come in for a little bit. Leanne, too, if you like. I just wanted to do a little something different today. And so I'm waiting to see whether I have any pop-in guests. You know, I used to schedule these lives and they would come around days or weeks later. And at the time they came up, I thought, gee, you know, I'm just not in the mood at the moment to go live. So a few weeks ago, I decided I'm just going to do these pop-up impromptu ones, which is fun because then I'm in the mood, in the moment. But generally speaking, most other people aren't available. So it's a little bit tricky to just kind of like pop up at any time and see whether anybody out there would like to join me for a little fun and games with tarot. So if you have the link, if you found the link and can pop in backstage, I'll look for you. And oh, it's so warm. Oh, there's somebody ghostly in the background. Hi, Jane.
Hi, Robin. How are you?
Welcome.
I think, oh God. Oh, I had a couple people, I want you to know, I was using your cards this morning and I had a couple people going, oh, I want to get those cards. Where do I get those cards? So I had to put out all your information.
Oh, that's so sweet.
You might get a couple of orders.
Thank you.
At least one that I know of, for sure.
That's a rare and scarce thing. I was watching somebody else's channel the other day, and they had some cards that they said they really liked because of the googly eyes. And I thought, oh, I never much thought about it, but both those decks have googly eyes. Oh, it was somebody doing a walkthrough about comedy or comical artwork, artwork that makes them laugh. And they mentioned that this googly eye deck made them laugh. And I thought, gee, I guess these decks of mine have a sense of humor, but that wasn't my first thought that googly eyes would make you laugh. But I guess I must have some subconscious thing about big, wide-eyed images or something.
Well, I don't know. They do have googly eyes, don't they? I mean, they look like Gerald's googly eyes. You know, when Gerald puts googly eyes on things.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm gonna mix your two decks together. I don't know if we're doing decks today, but I have them kind of separated right now.
Huh?
See how because I have them kind of separated right now. See how they're separated, the white and the green.
Yeah. Hang on. I just want to check something here.
Yeah.
Jonathan just came in and Antoinette just came in. I
Oh,
will extend an invitation to either of you if you'd like to come in and join us. I will post. I hope I'm posting the right link now because I just last minute sent invitations to two other people and I sent them the wrong link. It was a YouTube clip for Petula Clark singing, "I Couldn't Live Without Your Love." Oh, because somebody on Facebook says, "What's one thing you couldn't live without?" And I thought, well, how can I answer that? And I thought of that song, so I posted it on there.
you know
Uh,
the song that I came up with this morning, and I had to listen to it. I had to listen. Do you remember that? Yummy, yummy, yummy. I got love in my tummy. Okay, so I had to listen to it because it came to me, and let me tell you, I didn't realize how poorly they sang and how bad that. but that was the song that was. If anybody wants to know what the song of the day is, yummy, yummy, yummy.
I got something to recommend for you. I don't know, do you possibly remember Julie London, or you know who Julie London was?
Wasn't she in um wasn't she in a show?
Yeah, she was like a medical show or something. But back in the 50s, she was married to Jack Webb. I don't know if you remember him from Dragnet. And
Yeah.
she also was married to, after Jack Webb and she divorced, she married Bobby Troop, who's this jazz musician. And she had a whole string. Her big hit was Cry Me a River. And she did this really seductive. I mean, she was a sex pot, and she did these really seductive, sultry vocals. Well, in the '60s, she did like cover versions of pop tunes in that sultry style, and she does a version of "Yummy, Yummy, Yummy."
No way.
Is not like light and bubbly gum, bouncy. It's like really kind of seductive. But
I
you
will.
definitely need to check that out.
I will. And you know what was so funny about because I was watching a video because I go to YouTube, like I don't go to anything else. I just go to YouTube. And so they're like on stage, and every single one of them has a scarf wrapped around their neck. They look like the Beatles.
Mhm.
It was so good. It was just so good.
I always get them mixed. Now, was that the Ohio Express or the
Yes,
1910 Fruit Gum Company? Or there were like three bands that all sounded like that kind of.
the Ohio Express.
Okay.
I know.
I'm sorry. Hello, Aquarius, Al, Debbie, and Kristen, Louise. If either of you are interested in joining us live today and popping into play, I put the StreamYard link above. I don't know if I have to keep posting it.
No.
So yeah, I'm still waiting to see if anybody else I've already invited is up for the challenge, but I don't see them yet. So I'm sorry. Were you in the middle of something there?
No.
Express, I think we were talking about.
It was just funny. It was just funny how they didn't sound like like the song didn't sound like I remembered it, and
Mhm.
they just looked so silly, and they just looked so funny, and they were so Beatlesque, but didn't sound like the Beatles, but they looked like the Beatles. The
Okay. Debbie's at work, so she can't. She's just sneaking a peek with us today, I guess. Uh, so Leanne says you can pin your comment with the StreamYard link in it. How do I do that?
Oh, well,
You,
then you go to YouTube.
oh, you have to do it in YouTube.
I wouldn't do that if I were you, just in case you get trolls.
Yeah, yeah,
So, but I mean, you can. So I'm just going to tell you how you would do it. So you go into YouTube, you find that comment, and and then hit there's the three dots next to it. How you make people moderators. You know how to do that in
yeah.
YouTube. Okay, so you're going to go to that, and it's going to give you a list of things, and one of them is pin comment.
Okay, okay.
And
This
see, look,
for future use.
I just shuffled them all together.
Okay,
I made a super deck.
okay. Deanne is talking about planning a tattoo. Do you have any tattoos, Jane?
I do.
Oh, do you have a lot of them or just one or two?
I have 4.
I have 13. It's not a competition though. But I think for a lot of people, tattooing can become addictive. In fact, I have a story. I didn't start tattooing until it was my midlife crisis when I turned 50. I hadn't done too much else, and I thought, okay, I gotta do something to be, have a midlife crisis. And I had these two coworkers, and they were getting tattoos, and they had, I think it had sort of just become more legal in New York City. I want to say it was illegal before that, but there were a couple of shops. But all after they changed something in the law, all these tattoo parlors started popping up all over the city. And I found this one, it was called New York Adorned. And there was this style of tattooing that was just new and popular at the time that was tribal art tattoo out of New Guinea. And it was this really beautiful kind of abstract patterns and things. Because previous to that, it was all what I tend to want to refer to as Sailor Jerry tattoos, which are illustrations of naked ladies and, typical, what you usually think of as tattoos. But anyway, so the three of us at work, out of boredom or fascination or whatever, started getting tattoos. And we got into this very dangerous game of tattoo tag.
Oh.
One person would get a tattoo and they'd be excited and show it off. And then it was like, your turn. For like a year or so, we would be going back and forth. Every month or two, one of us would get a new tattoo. And that was not a good idea. And once you start getting them, after you've had your first one, it can be like, oh, that's kind of fun, or that's intriguing or exciting. Maybe I want another one.
And there's Maruda and Kindness and Light. Lisa.
Hi.
I had to, yeah. Oh, never mind. I'm just gonna, I might, nothing. I had to look up that word. I have to tell you, Deanne, I had to look up that word because I was like, what word are you getting tattooed on you? And I had to look it up, and that is super interesting.
Okay. Oh, I don't know that word either.
Yeah, it means it's the high note on it's a musical term.
Oh, one of my tattoos, I think, is a variant on a musical term. I can find it. Must be the other arm. I did mine where they won't show under a t-shirt unless I raise my sleeve. Oh, it's sort of this thingy. Well, it's kind of distorted, but it looks like I don't know, a rest or something. I don't know musical stuff, even though I made a lot of music. Oop,
Hmm.
I don't
Can
know.
barely see it. Interesting.
The first one I did, I designed is this one up here. It's I was disappointed. My skin, unfortunately, doesn't keep good definition on tattoos. And over time, they tend to kind of bleed a little bit anyway. And by bleed, I don't mean blood. I mean, they sort of blur a little.
I know. Look at my cat's got the zoomies. She's behind me. She got the zoomies. She's not doing it right now. Yeah, Maruta, that is an interesting design. I know this tattoo right here. There's my cat with the zoomies. It used to be all very colorful, and yes, I am a white girl with a butterfly. Okay, just gonna say it, because white girls have butterflies, and it used to be all. It was like a monarch butterfly, so it was all orange and yellow and stuff, and now it's no color whatsoever, and I'm like, all the color's gone.
Well, you're very courageous in exposing yourself where people can see it, and I think that provokes conversation with people, which is sort of when I did it. It was kind of like, for me, it's like, if I want to show it off, I'll wear a tank top or I'll go shirtless. But if I don't want to talk to people about it, I don't want it to show, under the length of a short sleeve. It's just for me, And when I got it, I had a realization that a tattoo is a scar that you choose. When you think about it, they dig into your skin, it leaves a trace. It's a scar. You put ink in there, but it's not one from an accident you've had. It's one that you purposefully choose. I guess body modification that's true of. But I started doing things that I felt like were sort of symbolic of moments in my life. Like one of them is an abstract image of my dog. And so like on one sleeve, there's sort of like evolution. There's like a planet and a lightning bolt and a star and waves and me and my dog, like man and beast. And it's kind of that whole thing, like creation, And then on the other one, there's various little, I don't know, weird stuff. I got this. This is the last one I got. It's a little running, you can't see it. It's a running woman with her hair blowing out behind her, and she's sort of like leaning into the wind. I can't get close enough.
Oh, yeah.
And I got it because I'm so predictable. And I plan things out, and I don't have any impulsivity at all other than doing this today. And I thought, oh, maybe if I get this thing of this like carefree, little wild woman running, it will break me of being so regimented, and I'll be open to spontaneity, like, sort of like a charm, like it'll break my charm of being like the emperor stuck in one place. And I will just, run with the wind and do wild and crazy things. Well, it didn't really work, but it was a nice idea.
Heighten some chronic illness symptoms due to the nature of them. That's great to know, since I have chronic illnesses. Doggone it.
Kristen's got one that covers her whole back, but it's not finished yet.
And I see that Jonathan has one on his back as well. And hello, Jackie and Maruta. Jonathan has 2 dragons on either side of a flaming yin yang that's actually personified as people. It's across my low back. Do you see that one? That one's really cool.
Yeah. Jackie and Maruta, you are invited to join the party if you like. I can post the link again for you to come in if you're interested. I want to do a little. Didn't the running woman work? Oh, somebody's here.
Oh,
hey there.
There's trouble if I've ever seen it. The two of you, and then I show up.
I mean, I'm in shock that Gerald showed up on somebody's live.
I know, it's so odd. I never go on other people's lives.
Ever. You're missing something though, but your hair looks good, so don't worry about
What
it.
am I missing?
Gerald,
Oh, well,
Oh,
that's
you
easily
friend.
fixed.
I
But
thought
your
you
hair,
had the bald cap.
here we go. It's the crown. Because he's
There you
the
go.
tester. Or
Yeah.
he,
If you wear the bald cap, we can be bookends.
there you go.
Listen, Gerald, since we're talking tattoos, have you got any?
I
You don't
do.
have to show them, but
I do. I have a lot of tattoos. I actually have I don't know, what do you call it when your shin is covered?
Oh,
Um
a sock?
well, because I was like, it's like a sleeve, but it's on my shin.
That's
So it's
what I'm
around
like.
my lower leg, my right lower leg, and then I have one
I
tattoo.
think Jane Fonda popularized those in the 80s, and they're called leggings.
No, they're called meggings, Robin.
Leggings.
I thought meggings came all the way up like tights. No,
They
I don't
do.
know.
They do. Oh, you're talking the oh,
Warmer
leg
sleeve.
warmers.
Leg warmers.
Yeah.
Sock. You know,
I don't know why you'd need your leg to be warm if you're working out inside a gym.
Have you ever worked out in a gym?
No, I just watch those old videos occasionally.
Okay.
But
Did
do
you
your
ever?
legs cold in a controlled environment? I don't know.
I don't know, but maybe Deanne can tell us. Deanne.
Deanne probably can tell us, but I can tell you a story about me and a sock warmer. That sounds really rude. It's not.
Next up on Toadstool Tarot, Jane the Secret Tarot shares her adventure
With one leg warmer. So I used to have this pair of pants and they were super cute, but I had this thing about my legs and they didn't come all the way down to like my shoes. So whenever I wore this pair of jeans, I wore leg warmers because I am from that. And of course my sweatshirt with the neck, cut out and everything cut off of it and then inside out, of course, because that's
of course.
how you had to do it. And I went out one night with my two friends. There were three of us that used to go out all the time. We got so drunk, and I'm so sorry to say that, but we really did. And we were all down at the beach, and we were laying around in the sand, and we were just like we were rustling in the sand. Well, I got up late for work the next morning. Oh, there you go. I got up late for the work the next morning and I'm walking and I just like didn't even take a shower. I just like, oh shoot. And I threw on some clothes and I go walking from the parking lot to my building. And I worked at Hughes Aircraft Company. This is like, we made things that went up into space. And I'm walking and I'm like, something feels weird. And I look down and I have one leg warmer on.
Nice. Nice.
So I had to take so I had to like be leg warmerless the other day or at work. And that was just,
Oh my gosh.
I was mortified because my pants didn't go all the way down to my shoes. And now everybody wears them that way. So whatever.
I didn't interrupt your story earlier, but you originally said my legs didn't go all the way down to my shoes. It conjured up quite an image.
No, well, one leg does, the other one doesn't. How about that one?
I don't know what to say. So wow. So
Ooh, somebody just popped in. We got a fourth. Hey.
Hi.
Louise,
How are you?
I'm good. It's starting
awesome.
starting to drizzle here, so I'm using that as an excuse not to be outside.
Yes.
Working in my garden. So if Candy Soul and Soil hears this, I'm working on the Fae garden, but I still need to do some practical stuff. I cut my grass the other day, and I have I have dandelions and then those wild violets and then some other flowering plants. So because the bees are coming out, I'm like I'm cutting around all the patches of the dandelions and these things. So it looks like my grass has not been cut properly, but hey.
But you're making a fay garden.
I am.
That's nice.
Thank you. And yes, Ruta, I did get a trim. Saw that.
You know, I would ask Kristen to strip off her top and show us her back tattoo, but I don't want to put her on the spot.
Look at her eyes.
No, I'm not stripping.
Well, you don't have to strip, but you just have to pull up the back of your shirt.
That doesn't work.
I could.
I don't know if we'd see too much. What is it a tattoo of?
A tree.
Oh, right.
Ooh,
Yeah,
beautiful.
and it's the base of it. I'm starting to get color put on it slowly, but
It's like the Norse tree, right? Or
yeah, Yggdrasil. So the world tree in Norse mythology.
do you have any more light in your place?
Well, the thing is, I have a ring light on me, and for some reason, my computer seems to dim.
Oh,
in response.
It just looks. You look a little gothy, and
yeah, like.
there.
Okay.
Oh, is it adjustable? It
like it's right here. Like,
oh, I see. By moving it around. Okay.
Yeah.
While
Just
you're
didn't
up,
wanna-
pull up the back of your shirt.
Here.
Oh my gosh!
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's just the beginning, though.
Wow.
and did I hear you properly? You don't really like it?
No, I don't like it.
Uh-oh.
It's not what I wanted, but I was too nice to tell her that. So,
Did you show them a drawing beforehand or anything, or just
Yes, I did, and then she just started her own masterpiece on me.
Oh.
James Seeker and I are having the same reaction. We're like going, "You're back."
I know. I regret it, but I'm stuck with it now.
I was so over controlling with mine that I had it physically on paper, Xerox copies and stuff. And I said, is there a way you can do exactly this, trace it or transfer it? And they did it. They could resize it on their machine and do an actual print. And then I said, okay, let me see what it looks like on there before you use the needle. And I had them move the placement all around. And I mean, I was like over the top with control issues, but I got what I wanted. But yeah, I'd have to be real. At one point I wanted a cape of stars around my shoulders. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought, well, I don't know if I could draw that. I might have to trust to them to do that, but I don't know if I'm trusting enough for someone to do it right.
I was very specific with mine. I interviewed people before I went to them. I told them what I was looking for, interviewed them, and then I had 3 different people work on the, I don't know, do you call it like a knee sock?
Okay.
But
I'm gonna look it up because nobody else is looking it up. What do you call it?
A calf sleeve. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I would actually love a half sleeve, my forearm, but
Mhm.
Yeah, I would love to do a tarot themed one. So, but I don't know if I will. I can't see. You're gonna fall. What is it? I can't tell.
It's really light.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can't see it. Sorry. They're feathers.
Did it fade? Did the color fade, or was it always light?
The colors have faded a little bit, but it's been 20 plus years, and so they're very bright colors. So
yeah, there's no outline on it, right?
There's no outline. The person that I talked to was like, you don't want outline because outline will bleed and all that stuff. So,
and it's called a leg sleeve, but that's when It's just called a leg sleeve.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So their feathers in the background is, I did let the artist decide what sort of a background to use. And so she used like the Japanese, where it looks like it could be air or it could be water.
Mhm.
So
Cool.
it's cool. I guess
So, Kristen, you're not happy with it, but you're continuing it on.
Yes.
There's no way midstream to jump to another artist that might be able to fix the rest of it, right?
No, and she's a phenomenal artist, so I just need to trust her genius, basically.
Okay.
So I think it's ugly right now, but it's only the base shadows of it. And then she's going to add on layers of color. So
Okay. But she didn't show you any kind of preliminary drawing or anything of what she's doing. It's not.
no, not until she drew it on me. And then I was like, okay, that's not what I wanted, but I'm sure it'll look fine. And it was a completely different style than I asked for.
Yeah.
So she's doing realistic. So it's going to be like hyper realism, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes if what you want is the style of a well-known established artist, you just have to trust and go with it.
Mm-hmm.
But not me.
Now,
Hey, Chris is here.
Yeah, hi Chris. And did you see Emma the Grey?
No, I didn't.
Emma the Grey. And
Hey,
then
Emma.
Leanne,
Yeah.
accompanied by
Yeah.
the birthday bats.
By the birthday bats.
Do either of you have tattooed tarot cards?
No. It
I
was
do.
sort of before. Actually, I dabbled in tarot in the early 80s, and then I didn't pick it up again until like the mid 2000s, teens,
Mm-hmm.
If I can brave getting through this tattoo, I don't know if I can because it's so freaking painful to get it worked on the back. I might get a tarot themed tattoo on my arm.
Would you get the Empress?
I've considered that, the Empress or the High Priestess.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I would love to get is that 8 of Cups from the Tarot of the Abyss.
Oh, where
I
she's
don't know that.
burning everything?
Yeah, let me grab it. I'll grab it while you guys chat. It's right here.
I'm just like going, well, wait a minute. I think I have the Tarot of the Abyss.
I love the High Priestess from the Muse Tarot, but I don't like that deck. So I love that card, but I don't like the deck.
Okay. Huh. Yeah, I have the one. I have the tattoo. The tattoo tarot that I bought at a Spencer's Gift. Do you remember the Spencer's Gifts?
Oh, yeah.
So, oh my gosh, Emma the Grey said creepy baby from Sun Card as a chest piece.
She's suggesting that, or she has that? I hope
She's
she
suggesting it.
Are you suggesting it, or do you have that? Wow.
Oh, there's some creepy babies too. Why do they do that on the Sun card?
This might be time to play the game that I brought you all here for.
Here
And-
it is.
Oh yeah.
It'd be too hard to do, but I just love the way she's like, I'm leaving this place. I'm getting out of here, and I'm even just gonna dump this cup out. And you got all these cups
Nice.
left here, and she's dumping out these cups too. She's like, done. Anyway, sorry.
Love that.
I love MA. She's like MA's like going, I'll never tell.
Uh-oh. All right, so this was some sort of trick. All right.
Oh,
Spring
now we
on.
have to play a game. Oh gosh. Okay. What
Well,
are we doing?
It's nothing drastic. It's Gerald and I had a conversation yesterday offline, and it's a little bit of that. Pull a deck, any deck. It could be a brand new one. It could be an old one. Doesn't matter. you're going to pull one card out of the deck. You don't necessarily even need to shuffle. You could just pull a random card out of the deck. And the question is, what is tarot? And I want you, when you pull your card, I want us to take turns looking at each other's cards and discuss how that card pulled might answer that question. So that's
I'm
the
Michelle,
game.
shining light.
Well, I'll just use this deck. Okay.
Hey, Jane,
Oh,
I'm using the Sacerabito that I'm going to use for Tuesdays with Tarot Stash, exclusively on Jane the Secret Tarot.
So y'all got to be there for that because we're going to
deep.
use the Sacerabito.
Yes. All right.
Hello, Michelle.
Okay, I got this. I pulled just a random card. I'm ready with my random card.
Everybody have a random card. Don't show it yet. I'm going to go first since this is mine, just to introduce you. I'm using the Old Fellow Beyond Tarot, and I got the Four of Cups. And so what is tarot? Tarot is a means of revealing things that we tend to just sort of naturally overlook regarding emotional aspects in our life. And when I say emotions, I don't mean romance, but it could be, I'm talking more about worries and concerns. So tarot is a way of calling our attention to the things that we just sort of tend to not think too much about in our lives, but are emotionally important to us.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you all want to comment or relate to that card in some manner of elaboration or response. Jane?
I would like to say that that card, sir, reminds me to make sure that it's showing me things that I don't normally see. It's showing me, it's sort of connecting the as above, so below, because it's handing me something from above, but I'm sitting there looking at my earthly plane and not looking at what's coming from the heavens.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else care to comment on this? I mean, that's similar to what I said, but yeah.
I like what both of you have said.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned to Gerald yesterday, something I want to do on my channel is that the tarot community that I'm part of seems predominantly to connect to tarot through a sense of spirituality or connection with spirits, angels, other deities, what have you. And I tend to relate to it. I'm not saying I don't relate to it that way, but I tend to relate to it more from a psychological aspect. So I'm actually thinking of doing a workshop having to do with a material aspect or a psychological aspect of reading cards, as opposed to outside of yourself, more like relating to your activities or how you go through life. And I'm not explaining that very well, but I'm saying a psychology aspect versus a spirituality aspect.
So not spiritual.
Yeah, that's not something that I see on channels in our community, really. So it might spark some new conversations or bring some new people into tarot that aren't currently interested because they're fearful or put off by preconceptions about what they think tarot might be.
I like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I'm going to who wants to go next?
Gerald.
All right. I got the 8 of Swords. So, and this is tarot is useful for forcing me to look at things that I don't want to look at. And no, let me rephrase that. This is a sword. Tarot is useful for me to give attention to the pointed things that are jabbing at my brain.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I would say it's a card of prickly knowledge.
Mhm.
Things that maybe aren't the most pleasant, light things that you
Mhm.
engage with about your life. And in some ways, that's trapping you because you don't engage with those. And so I'd say that card is encouraging you to engage with those things and maybe break out of that pattern, push those swords away by taking in those pointed ideas and so forth. Anyway,
Yeah, I was gonna say like there's certain things that poke your shadow. You know, they're poking your shadow, and the tarot can really be a lens to help deal with those things, so they
This.
don't poke you anymore.
Go ahead, Jane.
No, I like everything that you guys said, and what Kristen just said. Really, I really like that a lot. Yeah.
I could also say this is the card of over complicating or overthinking in while you're awake. I mean, it's not the nightmares. This is the stuff that you do instead of doing the work. It's poking you out of comfort zone, Emma the Gray said.
I see someone new I don't recognize. I want to welcome Cast Love 111 Tarot, who's Find Your Passion. Nice to see you live. Welcome.
Hi.
Oh, when you get Maruta, when you get that gateways too, you need to go to. I'll get her. Oh, it's that channel that everybody knows about, but I can't. Anyway, she talks about how to use that with tarot because there's 3 keywords on the bottom of each card when you pull a tarot card for each one. Okay, bye. It's just a great way to use that deck, the Gateway by Kyle Gray. I want to do it on my channel one of these days. I just don't know how long it'll take.
Okay.
You're getting Kyle on with you?
No, I just want to use. I want to do that particular spread. That I can't remember. It's Pamela. Really, the channel. She's really super popular. Darn it, can't remember her name.
Michelle just subscribed to you, Gerald. Oh, no, sorry.
No, to Chris.
To
Chris. I'm mixing people up, channel names.
It's Dawn Michelle.
Oh, Dawn Michelle.
Oh.
Dawn Michelle. I saw it on Dawn Michelle, and I was like, "Oh, I'm doing that." I thought it was genius. So go to Dawn Michelle, Maruta. Anyway, Kristen.
Okay. Yeah, Kristen.
Okay. I got the Hanged Man. So I would say tarot makes you pause and start seeing things from different perspectives. Simple as that.
Is that the Deviant Moon? Okay. Anybody else want to comment on that card before we go to Jane? No?
I think that makes a lot of sense, Kristen.
Yeah, I think it does too.
Jane, let's see your card.
The 6 of Swords. And like any other, I don't know. Here I am using the Tarot of the Abyss. It's the hardest one to see, but this one, it tells me that even though I could be all up in my head, because see how I'm flying over the swords and over the stormy waters, but that I am flying above all of these things, and it's going to be okay. So it takes me to so tarot has me, like I said, it has me look at things from a different, like the Hangman. The whole deck has me looking at things from a different perspective and seeing things and drawing things out of me that I never knew. And I actually need this card right now. So, whoa!
I wanted to see it better. So
see those waves, those crazy waves, and see how I'm up there on that bird, riding that bird.
Yeah.
There's a boat out there. Why is this boat in calm water?
Hmm.
But that's what I see there.
Anybody else?
Look at it from the outside. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say that tarot can help you move through hard times, get you to the other side.
Yeah.
Help
Yeah.
you.
Before I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
I was just going to say, help you see it from a different angle
Mm-hmm.
so that you can keep perspective, because sometimes the rough waters looks rough, but if you get a higher perspective, it's not rough everywhere.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
Maruta just said, the boat has reached its destination of peace. I love that. So that boat out there has reached its destination of peace, whereas I'm still flying over all these really rough waves. And this is actually what I'm doing on Wednesday. So, wow.
Before I could see your card, I thought of the usual RWS image, and in your card there is that little boat, and it makes me wonder if we were to zoom in close, whether that would be the boat that we usually see in the RWS image. But when I think of that image of the boat crossing the water, wait a minute, I want to take you off solo here.
Oh, okay, good. Because
So when I think of the general RWS, the boat crossing the water with the swords in it, for me, what is tarot by that card means we're moving forward, and we're moving forward along with all the things that are in our head that we're thinking about and sorting through. All those swords we're carrying with us. You know, they may poke holes in the bottom of our boat. We might be a little worried about it, but it's all our baggage we're taking with us, and we're going to have to deal with them one at a time. But we're moving forward, and that's what tarot is about: dealing with all your issues one at a time. You take them all with you. Everything that's in your past is part of your reading that comes with you moving forward. So that's the way I see it. You're
yeah,
carrying your load kind of to the other shore.
he is, you know how generally it's like a woman and a child, and then the person, steering the boat, she is holding a child, and the little boat, you made me look at it, Robin, because I never really looked at it. It's like a little boat and a guy standing up in the little boat. So it's possible that the bird is taking her to that guy out there in that little boat to the because when you get the when I get the Six of Swords, I'm like, don't worry about it, you're moving on to smoother water. I get that song, Bridge Over Troubled Water, blah blah blah. I don't get that with this card at all. But you are moving over, like it's just assistance to get over all of this rough spot, which is interesting because I just had a hypnosis session.
Oh,
which is to help me get over this stuff that I'm going through too. So I'm excited.
Cool.
So what's the next question?
Well, I want to be able to include people in the chat. So if anybody in the chat would like to pull a random card and tell us what the card is, and then answer the question, what is tarot, from their card, we'll share it. And as you pull the card, I'm going to pull it out of the RWS deck to show it, and all four of us can get in on that as well. So if anybody would like to volunteer to do that, pull a card and put it in the chat, and then I'll take that as our signal. In the meantime, let's see.
Ooh, I like that, Leanne. Your thought swords are creating the waves, but the reality is the boat and still water is really what's happening.
nice.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Okay, Kaslov pulled the strength card. I'm going to look for it. In the meantime, can Kaslov mention or see how she sees what is tarot as answered by the strength card. And everybody disappeared on me.
Because I think I have a really cool strength card that I wanted to look at.
Okay.
I just wanted to see.
Oops. That's not what I want to do. How do I? Oh, it won't let me. I'm trying to find a way to. No, that's not it.
You want to put her comment on the screen?
Oh, yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
She comment yet? No, she just got.
Yeah, there, that. Yeah.
I was trying to make us each taller and narrower so we could get closer up.
You can't do it. You can't do it when you have 4. That only works if you have 3.
Okay. Let's see. Maruda says, "Find your passion." Strength card popped out too.
Ooh.
Wow.
Okay. For me, I think it would be, let's see, what is tarot? The strength. For me, it would be you use the deck and these images to find your own sense of confidence and courage in dealing with issues that you might fear. And you'll find strength as you learn how to do that by using the cards.
Mm-hmm.
I love the funny thing that I saw about the strength card is this is her trying to give her cat a pill.
Mhm.
That takes a lot of strength, I'll tell you that.
Yes.
Well, I can riff off of that too. Trying to give your cat a pill is like trying to force feed yourself the tarot and get answers to your questions. You take a pill to cure your ill. You go to the tarot to cure your problems. Maybe you don't want to, but it gives you strength by doing that.
My strength card is a little kitten telling a coyote or a wolf to back off, Jack. And there's a little butterfly hanging around there too.
Love that.
And how do you relate that card to that question, or can you?
I just think it's cute because I like cats and dogs. And I see it in my house. Like the cats, when the dog will try and mess with them, the cats will be like, I'm almost bigger than you.
Yeah.
I think it's funny, when I thought of this concept, of this idea, I started just randomly in my head thinking of images from RWS and thinking, gee, can all 78 cards answer this question in some way? And I didn't go through them all, but I went through about 6 or 8 of them. I didn't hit one that couldn't answer the question, what is tarot, for me? And that might be a challenge if any of you think you can think of a card that won't answer that question.
Yeah.
I like what Jackie says: mutual respect, kindness, and trust.
Yeah. And Cass Love said, to me, the card means accepting the things cannot change with grace. I think it also suggests that you're struggling with something, and you've got to sometimes, when I'm struggling with something, I need to be okay with struggling for a bit so that I can understand everything, and then I can move, and then I can figure out which way to move.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think also, like I see in this one, I think it's like a piranha that he's pulling his mouth open and his fingers are like intertwined with the fangs and everything. And the thing that comes to mind is the discomfort that working with the tarot can bring. And like courage is not not having fear, if that makes sense. Courage is acting in the face of fear and in the face of the discomfort. And so that's how I see tarot is a tool for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few other keywords that I equate with the strength card. One of them is perseverance. One of them is courage. There aren't too many, but strength. What's the one that they often? I'm confusing the card number 8 with number 11, because they switch them sometimes. That one is no.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they
Yeah.
switch sometimes.
They switch
I
strength
have-
with justice.
I have decks where the strength card isn't a lion; it's a woman or a man, like wrestling with a pillar, or fortitude. That's the word. Sometimes the strength card, the word strength is replaced with the word fortitude,
Mhm.
which I guess is that a synonym for strength?
Say like tenacity.
Yeah, tenacity. That'd be a good one too.
Yeah, it's pressure. It's pushing on. It's fortitude.
Dealing
Mhm.
dealing with things.
Yeah.
Don't know if we covered that. Did anybody else in chat have a card they want to enter into this?
Regina put something in there, and she has stepped away. She's listening, but won't be able to engage.
Oh, her card is the King. Wait, let me see. The King of Pentacles. Tarot is a process that looks at the long term. It has its systems, its foundations, and that which can be built upon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wondered a little bit about the court cards, and I think about the King of Pentacles too. For me, the King of Pentacles with what is tarot is your life is something substantial. That's a pentacle for me. It's something of worth, value. And the king is sort of like the top of the hierarchy, the end of the line. The King of Pentacles, usually when you get a new deck, it's the last card in the deck. Usually they put Pentacles last, but not always. So if you have the Fool at the beginning, then the ultimate ending is the King of Pentacles. And so for me, that's like you're in a position of mastery at that point over your whatever you value, whatever is of value to you. And so that's, for me, that's tarot trying to achieve mastery over your life, trying to achieve completion, affirmation, absoluteness, whatever, whatever that means for you, trying to make everything good and great. That's the King of Pentacles for me. So that's how that relates to what is tarot for me.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else have any thoughts on that?
I also think, from a very practical standpoint, the King of Pentacles knows exactly where his money's going. They know where their money's going, what's going on with it. And if that were to show up, I might say, just check your books, balance your checkbook, and it's time to reevaluate. So from a very practical standpoint.
And you know what's interesting is my husband is a Cancer, so he would be the King of Cups if he was to show up in my readings. But in all of my readings, he shows up as the King of Pentacles. And he is very good with his money, and he's very money oriented. I mean, he's not greedy. He doesn't want more money. He's not trying to make a bunch of money. He just is very conscious and spends wisely.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to rein this in a little bit, because I think you guys are reading the cards for readings, but I want to bring you back to the question. If you look at the King of Pentacles, what does that tell you about tarot? If he says, I am tarot because, what is that? How does the King of Pentacles answer that for you?
I see
Because
the King of Pentacles as strategic and practical, and can balance taking care of himself while taking care of other people. And so I think tarot is a great tool for both helping yourself and helping other people.
right.
So
Yeah, that works. I just mentioned that because Gerald mentioned finances, which can be part of readings or part of your life, but it's not all of your life.
Yeah.
So it doesn't fully answer the question. It's because if you went by what you said, I guess it would be more.
So
Well,
what is tarot? If the King of Pentacles said, what is tarot? I have all of the answers. I know what everything is grounded in. I understand. I'm solid.
I like that you use the word grounded. Yeah, grounding. Yeah.
Both of my feet are on the ground. I'm not going to get into this fluffy stuff. It's very practical.
Yeah, tarot can go highfalutin and woo, but tarot can be very practical in helping you with everyday struggles.
Yeah, I like that notion of tarot is mastering grounding. So it's like if you're in your head or you're in your heart or whatever, it's like you need something solid to kind of help bring you down to earth, kind of. Mm-hmm. And you can use those, ephemeral influences, but if that's what tarot is the tool to ground you.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else wants to add to that or give a different viewpoint. Oh, here Leanne has one. Oop. The Thoth deck, 4 of discs reversed. Oh, that's a tricky one for me because I don't use Thoth or reversals.
Yeah, me too.
As an alternative, I'll pull the 4 of discs out of here. But does anybody want to respond to that? Let me see if.
Well, my first thought with 4 of Pentacles is self-care. I think a lot of people see the card negatively as it being selfish, of being greedy. And I don't see that card that way. I see it as you need to take care of yourself, and now's the time to do it, and this is how you're going to do it. And you needed to invest in yourself. And I see tarot as a skill that you need to take time in learning, and it's a way to invest in your own self-care.
Yeah. I got this card. Now, this is not the Thoth, but for me, this tarot is teaching you not to hold on to things too tightly or overly tightly. Don't cling to things beyond the capacity that they're useful or helpful to your progression in life. I mean, you can't just let them all go completely free either. There's some degree in life where we need to hold on to things and claim things for ourselves, but don't go overboard holding on too tightly. By doing that, you tend to block out or lock out possibilities.
Yeah, and the fact that it was reversed makes me think of it that way as well. It's like the idea of clinging.
Yeah.
And I think some people actually misuse the tarot and will use it in order to reinforce clinging, unfortunately. But the tarot as a tool, when used correctly, will help you muddle through those kind of things and help you to release those kind of fixations.
I still don't under shadow work. Would this reverse the notion of being too clingy? Could that be related to shadow work? I don't fully understand.
Anything can be related to shadow work. Anything that you're not willing to own, that's a part of you and that you need to confront can be shadow work.
So even upright, maybe the fact that you're not holding on tight enough, that could be some aspect of your shadow if you have
Yeah.
that kind of personality.
Yeah. If you give too much.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Anything from you guys that I mean,
The four of discs in the Thoth is called power. I had to look it up. So, what is tarot? It has great ability to wreak havoc, sure things up, create, destroy.
mhm.
So,
Leanne says, I don't read reversals, but I thought I would honor how it came out. I don't see from her interpretation of how to answer that question. But I'm going to try and find the card in a little Thoth that I have, even though I don't use this. Do any of you use the Thoth?
No,
Mhm.
one of my first decks was the Thoth, and I couldn't connect to it, so I let it go.
I
Wish
don't.
I hadn't, but
In the Deviant Moon, it's a very shadowy portrayal of this card. He is greedy. He's clinging. He is afraid of. There's a woman who's skeletal, who's holding onto a clock, and her arm is hooked onto him, and it's almost like, I don't have enough time. I need more time, and I'm going to cling and cling and cling. Because I'm so afraid that time's going to run out and I'm not going to get enough. And I don't know how to really read that for what tarot is. I mean, you could read it for what to avoid with tarot.
I agree, Leanne. In the picture of it, there's all of the suits are represented. So of that on the four of discs. So.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it's not. They're not round. Wait, is this the right card?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
So
the discs that I saw.
it doesn't feel like discs to me. Yeah, right. It says power. Power is the key word on there. Well, this intuitively to me, even though I don't read Thoth, this indicates to me some form of confinement or containment. And it's a box. You've got four corners, and that's usually something very stable. And I guess there's a certain stability to claiming objects or housing or whatever. But it can also it can trap you as well. You can be confined within four walls, and you can also let your finances or pursuit of them control you. So, Gina, how do I say that? What is tarot? I guess it might be considering how your world affects you in terms of opening you up or shutting you off. Maybe. And tarot is a tool to help you see,
to bridge the gaps.
Which one you're doing. I mean, I always think of tarot as a balancing act, and it's sort of like a very binary thing. It's like either or, and it's usually opposite extremes. And for me, it's a matter of finding balance in the middle somewhere. It's like, I don't often ask questions to my tarot. I'll do a daily thing like, what do I need to know today? And it'll tell me, well, you're going too far this way, or you're going not enough that way. And for me, it kind of centers me like, oh, okay, today I need to focus on pulling that back towards center. I'm leaning way too far in one direction, and I'm not centered. I'm not grounded. I'm not, I need to find myself or find my place of perfect balance in the center of things. That's just kind of the way I look at it. Have I completely lost everybody?
I was wondering in that Thoth 4 of discs reversed, when you were holding it, it was upright, correct? That is up.
Yeah.
And so that's reversed.
Yes.
So it's to me, and I guess this would be in a reading, but when I see it reversed, and it's probably just because I only see this on this, or when I see it upright, it's like it has the whatever's inside of it does have a way out, but when it's reversed, then it does not have that way out. So it's almost like with that particular deck, it's like the tarot would teach me how to find my way out of a box.
Mm-hmm.
Gerald, is that upright or reversed now? I can't quite tell.
This is reversed. This is that
Okay.
tiny one that you had,
Yeah.
you found on Make Playing Cards.
Oh, that real little one. Yeah.
The real little one, which I am disappointed about because it doesn't have the labels or the names on it.
All right.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
so there's that.
Okay. Let's see, bring you back. I don't see anybody else in chat bringing any others up. Let me ask you guys if you want to do a second round, or do you want to call it an afternoon? We've been on an hour and 13 minutes.
I have some other things that I need to do. So, but
Yeah, I need to get ready for my travel time too. So
Yeah. And hubby just got home, so I should probably go.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining me today. And I mean, I'm thrilled that there are people not only in chat, but here on screen with me as well, because this was very impromptu and unpredictable. And I hope it all challenged people a little bit on looking at tarot and adding a little extra something to informing as to what tarot is.
yes.
And I'd encourage you as an exercise, maybe pull more cards from your deck or go through your deck and answer it with every card and see if it comes up with something new that you hadn't thought about before.
Yeah, I love it. This was
I
great.
was surprised with our 4 cards that we got almost like a common denominator in a reply or an answer from all 4 cards. And they were, if you want to say, completely random, but some people would say no, they weren't random. We were guided to get those cards, But anyway, thanks everybody. Have a great weekend, and all of you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
this was fun.
Yeah.